current president of the Yankee Chapter Pontiac Club, which encompasses Massachusetts and Maine. And I bought this 64 Bonneville in 2002. It's an interesting story. It's the main reason I joined the Pontiac Club in the first place. I wanted to buy a full-size 60s era Bonneville or Grand Prix. I actually wanted a 67 Grand Prix convertible. They were a little bit out of my price range, so my second choice was a 64 Bonneville convertible. I met up with these guys at a cruise night and told them what I was looking for. They suggested I join the club, so I did, and hence I found this car from a member in the club who bought it off somebody who had brought it here from California in 1998. So it's a black and gold plate 64 Bonneville convertible. It's a solid car. In 2003, I developed an engine problem, head gasket situation, which led me up to a wonderful valve job, which I realized at that point, never go halfway. When we put it back together, I had a mean case of blow-by, which brought me to a complete engine rebuild in 2005 I used Bourbeau Restorations out of Munson, Mass, and I got a wonderful engine in this car now. It's 389, board 30 over, plenty of power. It's a great car. I'm happy I bought it. As time went on, I ended up getting elected president of the club. So,
congratulations.
Everything happens.
So now you're the representative of this club. How many members do you think are in the club here in New England?
In our chapter, just in Massachusetts and Maine, we have roughly 90 members. About 55, 60 of them are very active. We're always looking to recruit new members. If anybody was interested in joining the Yankee Chapter Pontiac Club, they can get a hold of me at ramgrand@aol.com, and we'd be more than glad to sign you up.
Okay, and you have a Facebook page also?
Yes, we do. We're Yankee POCI on Facebook.
Facebook, great. So now we're going to take a look at a couple of more of these Pontiacs, and I just ran into them today. Basically, I was coming down to Bass Pro, and he literally jumped out in front of my car and said, "Hey, you've got a Pontiac," and I saw his shirt, so obviously he's a friend of mine. So parked here with the other Pontiacs, which is really nice. So is this something you set up with Mass Cruisers?
Yes, we did. Yes, about 2 months ago, one of our members came up to us, and they had been here last year when the Cadillac Club had an event going. Our members said, "Well, it'd be great if the Pontiac Club could do that." So I said, that's a really good idea, I got a hold of Steve Huntington, who's in charge of parking for Mass Cruisers, and we set this up, and we were hoping for better weather, but we have 24 plus cars so far, so I'm very pleased with that on a night that was very questionable.
Yeah, very questionable. I didn't even know if we were going to come down with it. You just heard about tornado warnings of all things, but hey, it's a beautiful, warm, humid day, and it's a great night for a cruise, and a lot of people have shown up. So, like I said, we're going to take a look at some of these beautiful Pontiacs. And thank you, man, for stopping me and having us park in here.
Not a problem. Thanks for coming.
Cool, thanks. Here with Steve, and he has got a nice Pontiac here. Tell me a little bit about this beautiful car.
This is my 1965 Bonneville convertible. I've had this car since 1999, and when it's nice out, this is my car of choice every day.
So it's your daily driver?
This is my summer daily driver, my nice weather daily driver, and actually this was my daily driver this past March when it was 80 degrees out.
Yeah, oh, that's beautiful, man. So you do drive it pretty much almost whenever the weather's nice?
I have this and I have other cars, but this is the car I drove to work today.
Beautiful. And you drove down here today.
Absolutely.
So what kind of engine's inside?
This has a 389, 4-barrel standard, 325 horsepower, turbo hydromatic 400 transmission. And this car is equipped with quite a few unique options for a 65. It's got the Pontiac factory 8-lug wheels.
So it's 8-lug. So that's how it goes on there?
Yeah. What you're looking at is the brake drum.
Wow, okay.
Little history about 8-lug wheels. Came out in a Pontiac in 1960, and they were used till 1968. Power steering, power brakes, power windows, power vent windows, power bucket seat, tilt wheel, automatic temperature control air conditioning. Of course, the air conditioning doesn't work. Power antenna. There's probably several other things I've forgotten, but it's a pretty loaded 65 Bonneville convertible.
Well, we could say it's a very powerful car.
Yes, it is.
It's a beautiful car.
Thank
so,
you.
I mean, you take this all over the place. I've seen it. This has been at a couple of shows. I think
Oh, yeah.
I've seen it at a couple of shows, and I just love the color too. What color would you say? It's like a creamy white color.
The correct name for this car in '65 was Mayfair Maze.
Mayfair Maze. Okay, there you go.
And in
So-
'66 they changed it and called it Candlelight Cream. So
and it's the same exact color.
pretty much, yeah.
That's nice of them.
Yeah.
But no, thank you for showing this beautiful Pontiac. I love it. I'm a big fan since you know that I drive a Pontiac. But thank you again. And how long have you had this? Current? Is this something you restored or is it
March 1999, I bought the car, and funny story behind the car, I was looking for something to replace my 60 Caddy Coupe de Ville as my daily driver. And my friend says, well, there's this 65 Bonneville convertible in Maynard for sale. Now, I've never been a 65 fan. I'm a 64 and 66 guy. And if you're a 65 guy, you're a 63 guy, and it's got to do with the way the headlights are stacked.
Yep.
So it was yellow with black, which really didn't tickle my fancy, but since it was close in Maynard, Massachusetts, I called the guy, and he's telling me, it's got this, it's got that, it's got a console. It's a console, so that means it's a bucket seat car. Wow. So we get on there, we look at the car. The guy bought the car in '86, fall Carlisle, brought it home, took the heads off, put the car back together. The car never ran right, parked it in this building.
Yeah.
So now this is an old wooden frame building, tongue and groove type building. Well, the building got sold. James Taylor bought the building, had the building disassembled, and brought it to Martha's Vineyard to have it reassembled. So now this car had to go. So I bought the car, did the mechanics on the car that spring, started driving it in July, and then next year I put a top on and did the exhaust, this, that, and the other thing, painted the car a few years ago, but it's all scraped up because I drive it.
It's a driver.
I put 30,000 miles on the car, but my daughter thinks it's hers.
Yep.
But it's a great car.
Now, how long have you been part of the club?
1984.
1984. So you're a long-time member then.
Yes.
Okay. And
I had hair when I became a member.
Oh, geez. Well, again, thank you for showing us this beautiful car, and I'm going to go interview some more beautiful cars. I mean, there's
Thanks
just
a
some
lot.
really nice cars here.
Yes,
I'm
there is. And
really impressed with the Pontiac Club here.
Well,
It's really cool.
if the weather wasn't so threatening today, I'm sure we would have gotten double, but whatever. But thank you very
Still
much.
beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Well, another beautiful Pontiac here is Ron's. Tell us a little bit about this Pontiac.
Well, it's a 1963 Pontiac Grand Prix. It's got a 389 4-barrel. I'm about maybe 3/4 of the way done restoring it.
Yeah.
I've done the engine and the interior and the trunk. Next thing is the paint job, hopefully next year.
Yeah.
I'm doing a little at a time, so work in progress.
Right. But you still drive it. It's driven all over.
Oh, yeah.
Do you drive? Is it a daily driver or something you drive on?
No.
No.
It's garaged all the time. I drive it just maybe on like weekends or cruise nights, stuff like that. So
Okay.
I don't drive back and forth to work with it. I got other cars for that.
How long have you had the car?
2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And what you told me there's a little bit of a history or story to tell
There's
about
a
this
little
car.
story about it. Yeah, I first noticed this probably about 6 years ago. I'm a school bus driver,
Oh, okay.
and I noticed it on my route for 4 years. It was sitting in somebody's backyard, and all of a sudden one day he had it out front with a for sale sign on it, and I pulled the bus over, and obviously with no kids in the car, or in the bus, I should say. I pulled the bus over and I bought it immediately because I was looking for a Grand Prix, and then I saw this and I just fell in love.
Right.
It's the original color, and the rest is history.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
and it's a beautiful find, and it's nice that you had your eye on it for so long, and then
Well, I noticed it about every time I drove by it. It's like, wow, that's a nice car. And I didn't know it was a Grand Prix. I didn't know they made them, starting at 62.
Right.
Like I was looking at a 67.
right.
So when I saw this, I fell in love.
Nice, man. Well, it is a beautiful car, and I think a lot of people have that story. You see that car sitting on the side of a house somewhere, and you go, I'd like to have that car someday. And your story actually came to life.
It came to
true,
life.
yeah.
Came true, exactly. I lucked out with it too, because the guy that had it outside, though, he just kind of let the interior go, and a lot of rot holes in the floor pan and whatnot. But I've fixed those so far, and restored the interior, and that was there was like an inch of mold on the interior when I got it, and it cleaned up nice, but it had no headliner, stuff like that. I little at a time, restoring it.
Wow. Well, again, man, it's beautiful. I love it, and I'm a little partial to Grand Prix myself, anyways. So
Me too. This is my third one.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a nice example. And so, you said you go to a lot of the cruise nights. Which ones do you usually partake in?
I go to Friday night in Lancaster, Kimball's.
Okay.
There's another cruise night on Friday night in Worcester at the Five and Diner.
Yep.
I do those. I haven't been doing a whole lot this summer because I got a new job, so I'm working during the summertime.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I haven't been doing a whole lot. But and I came here tonight because of the Pontiacs.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the club's here.
Yeah. And how long have you been? I don't know if I asked you. How long have you been with the club?
Be about 2 years now.
2 years. I think I did ask you that.
Yeah,
Cool.
I've been. No, actually, you asked me how long I've had the car.
Oh, so you've been with the club and you've had the
I've
car
had the car for 2.5 years. With the club 2 years. I just became part of the board of directors in January. So the club's great. A lot of wonderful people here. And everybody's great. And any type of information you need to know, the club knows it. Somebody in the club will know it, or somebody in the club will have a part.
Now, like, since you're a part of the board of directors, is it just something where it's just older Pontiacs, or is it
Old, new, you name it, is in the club. We've got, like the brand new GTOs. We got the old GTOs, brand new Grand Prix.
Yeah.
You name it, it's in the club.
Oh, very cool, man. Yeah, so check these guys out. Like I said, they flagged me down when I came in, and I have a newer Grand Prix. So again, thank you for showing me this car. It's a beautiful car.
Nice to meet you.
You too, man. Thanks.
All right, thanks.
Cool. All right, another guy from the Pontiac Club is John. Tell us a little bit about this car. What year is it, and what is
It's a
it?
66 Le Mans. It's got an 8-cylinder, the 326.
Yep.
It's it's a very rare car. It's a 4-door hardtop.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's a 4-door hardtop. You don't see too many Le Manses.
Not even not the 4-door, not even so much the hardtops.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's got all the bells and whistles you can think of except power seats.
Okay, so it's got everything a
Well,
good Pontiac should have. And
Yeah.
so you told me there's a little bit of a story. Where'd you pick this car up?
It's a little bit of a story. One of the guys you interviewed earlier, Steve, with the yellow Bonneville here, I was in the market for what we used to call a rain car.
Yeah.
A car that you could take out if it was going to rain like today.
Yep.
And he called me up and said, there's a guy on eBay who I'm selling my 2+2 to. He's got a Le Mans on eBay for sale. The only problem is he was in St. Louis.
Oh.
So he ended up looking at the car, had his phone number. We called up and I looked at the car. I thought about it for half a day. And I says, all right, I'll take the car.
Yeah.
Right. So after about 4 days of trying to make arrangements of how to get the car here, it's how to see it, we decided, let's just get in the other car and we'll go.
Yeah. Right.
So we went out to St. Louis, and just happened to be the owner was a chief of detectives
Oh. Okay.
out there. So we had to go to the police station in Kirkwood, Missouri,
Yeah.
just outside of St. Louis. And our plans were go around back, see the car. If the car wasn't any good, take off. Screwed us. Put the car inside the police station, so we couldn't see it. So we come out. It was 104 degrees that day. You know, black interior, so that really made it nice.
Yeah.
Looked at it. We took it out for a test drive and everything, and says, "Hey, this car's not too bad." So we were on our way anyway to the Woodward Cruise in Detroit.
Right.
So we decided we're going to take the car. Made arrangements with them to take his plates, everything. He says, "I can have the plates, everything, as long as you mail them back to me."
Yeah.
So we drove the car on Route 66 through Illinois to Detroit,
No kidding.
you know, and took it into Woodward Cruise and everything else and drove it back.
Wow.
And the only thing I've done to it since is the air conditioning. It wasn't working. I fixed the air conditioning,
Right, yeah.
converted it over. And that was in 2000.
And so this is an all original car.
Pretty much all original. It's had a few dings on it. This fender on this side's been replaced. We can tell it's an aftermarket fender.
Right.
You can see the paint's kind of starting to fade on it.
But it's a survivor. It's been
It's a
kept
survivor.
up and it looks beautiful.
We can't figure how it was ordered. I mean, it was we got the data sheets and everything. This is the way this car was ordered. It's got a 2-barrel carburetor, but it's a dual exhaust, and it has I forget which sort of a rear end gear on it, but it's geared for highway driving. So when you're on the highway driving, it doesn't do it doesn't idle up at all. It doesn't.
wow.
The RPMs are way down on it.
So it gets pretty good gas mileage then. for what it is.
Not too bad. If it's on the highway straight, it'll probably do about 20.
That's hey.
In the city, it's around 10.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
But for a rare car like this,
it's a rare car. It's got an AM/FM
Oh, okay,
radio,
that's even more rare
power
back then, yeah.
antenna with a reverberator.
oh, what is that? I have no
It's
idea.
a reverberator for older people. Remember, it was fake stereo.
Oh, okay.
And what it was a box, and it contained a huge coil.
Yeah.
And it delayed the signal half a second so that your rear speaker would play a half a second later than the front speaker, and it would sound like stereo. Somewhat.
See, now you learn something new every day. I did not know anything like that. So
If you go over a good bump,
yeah,
the coil bounces and you get a boing.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. And this is equipped with that. So does it still do that? Does it make the boing if you hit a bump?
Once in a while.
Yeah.
Once in a while. I don't usually put the reverberator on that much. You know,
Okay.
I usually listen with the front speakers only.
Okay.
It's got, you know, a few items. It's got four-way flashes, which were an option, which
Right.
very few cars had. Seat belts,
Yep. That
which were an option that year.
very nice. Very
Bunch
cool.
of other things, but it was like I said. The story was is that we had to go out there. We had plans to take a look, and then if it wasn't any good, send it back.
Oh, this is well. Hey, you brought it back here, so it had to have been something very nice,
I've
and
been-
it is something rare. So.
Been driving it for the last 12 years.
How long have you been part of the club?
Pontiac Club, maybe 14, 15 years.
Wow.
I
Okay.
have a '66 Bonneville convertible,
Okay.
and like I said, I needed a rain car.
There you go.
I got a couple of other cars, but
Yeah.
they're not Pontiac, so we don't talk about them too much here.
Now, when I'm interviewing everybody for Pontiac,
Yeah.
this is a great example on what might be a rainy day because we still got clouds coming in. So
You never know.
you brought the
never
right
know.
car, yeah. Well, again, thank you, man, for
Okay,
showing us this
thank you.
beautiful car.
All right.
All right, we're here with Merl, and he's got a beautiful car. It's a Pontiac, and it is a Granville. Tell me a little bit about a Granville.
In 1971, Pontiac decided they wanted to get more luxurious, so they changed. The Bonneville became a lower model, and they added the Granville. So that's it. And it ran until 76, I think, was the last year for a Granville.
Now,
Or
what-
75.
What kind of engine's inside of a Granville?
The Granvilles in the beginning all had 455s.
Okay.
So this has a 455 4-barrel. And 74 was the last year for dual exhaust, so it has dual exhaust as well.
Very nice. Now, how long have you had the car?
It was my 50th birthday present, so that would have been 1996.
Wow, and we won't ask how long ago that was. You can do the math,
was,
people.
16 years.
Have you done anything to the car? Or is it something that's all
It's
original?
been no.
Okay.
It's got a paint job. A few things have been chrome, mostly just a new paint job and a new top. The interior is pretty well, and new carpets.
Yeah. Is it kind of hard to find something and not, most of people see GTOs,
Right.
Firebirds, and everything. Is it hard to find parts for a Granville?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially the plastic under the bumpers. That's really hard to find.
Yeah. You don't usually find that stuff. I see a lot of the older, bigger GM cars. They're missing all that stuff. So, but this one is a great representation of what this car looked like from the showroom. It's a beautiful condition. It's really nice. Now, how long have you been part of the Pontiac Club?
You're asking tough questions.
No.
30 plus years, 35 probably.
So you're one of the original members here?
Oh, the Yankee chapter?
Yeah, the
No.
Yankees.
I thought you were talking. The National, I've been a member over 35 years. The Yankee chapter, probably 25 years.
Okay. So still a pretty long time.
Yeah, I'm not. They had been around 2 or 3 years before I joined.
Okay, great. And do you go to any other car shows, cruise nights in New England?
The Kimball's Cruise. I'm from up in near Nashua, New Hampshire. So
Okay.
the Kimball's Cruise in Lancaster, which is an outstanding cruise. Not nearly this big, but
But it's still a beautiful cruise when you
yes,
go up there.
yes.
Yeah.
And let me think. Some other cruises, usually shows and cruises.
Yeah, nice. Well, again, it is a beautiful car. I love it, and thank you for showing us to us.
Sure.
Thanks.
Thanks.
I'm here with Chuck, and he's bought this beautiful Super Duty here. Tell us a little bit about this Pontiac.
It's a 1973 Pontiac Firebird Formula. It's originally a 455 HO car
Okay.
that I put the Super Duty hood and heads, intake manifold, exhaust manifold on it. I primarily use it for the Pure Stock Drag Racing League.
Okay.
We go to Michigan, Ohio, Lebanon Valley Dragway, Raceway Park about 8 times a year, and we drag race it.
So this is something that you do put on the drag strip and you
Oh
race
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's been 1242 at 113 in good air.
Jeez,
It's a really fast car for what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all stock. It's balanced and blueprinted.
Okay.
It's got a point more compression in it, which we're allowed by the rules,
Okay.
and everything else is stock on it, stock replacement style stuff. It's an original blue over white car.
Okay.
It was on a used car lot with 40,000 miles on it,
No kidding.
and I bought it and I restored it in 2004.
Wow, this is beautiful restoration, and it doesn't even look like it goes down the track. I mean, it looks like you just bring it to car shows.
There's a whole
It's got
stack
all
of
the
time
marks.
slips in the glove box.
So
I was
you have
showing
your
to
proof,
you.
yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
But I see all the markings on
Yep.
it and everything. So I mean, this looks like it's just
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
baby it, but you really
No,
you
we use
drive it.
Yeah, we use it. We use it. Yeah.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
I put about 5,000 miles on since I restored it.
Very cool.
A
Now,
lot of the markings were there when I took it apart. We photographed everything. So
now, how long have you? Did you say how long you on the car?
I've had the car since 2004.
2004.
Yeah.
And are you part of the Pontiac Club?
No.
No. So you just started. They
No,
told
I
you to
just
come park
came
with
up.
everybody.
Yeah, well, I pulled up and I saw the Pontiac, so I figured this is where I'm supposed to park. You know.
Same thing happened to me. They
Yeah.
jumped right in front of me and said,
Yeah.
"Come on in, park with
Yeah.
all the Pontiacs."
Yeah.
But that's very cool.
Thank you very
Beautiful
much.
example of what these cars were. I love the
Yeah.
color. So have you ever been down to Bass Pro before? Checking
This
it
is
out?
the second time with Bass Pro. I came last year with the car just once. I got out of work kind of late, so this
Yeah.
was the first time I said, well, I don't care if it rains or not. I'm still coming. So
It's still a great turnout for even
Yeah,
with
it
the
is.
threat of rain.
It is.
A lot of people did show up. So again, thank you, man, for showing us this car. It's
nice
a
to meet you.
beautiful
Thank
car.
you very much. Thank you.
I'm here with Jack, and he's got another beautiful Pontiac. Tell us the year of this Firebird.
It's a 1971 Pontiac Firebird. This car started its life as an Spirit,
Oh,
but
really?
yeah, converted to a Trans Am.
Wow, beautiful. And original color red, or is it
No,
something?
no. Originally, it was Sonoma Gold. The previous owner had painted it black,
Okay.
and I decided to go with the red.
Yeah, this
This
thing
is Buccaneer Red. It's this color was introduced in 1973, so
Okay.
most people think it's a 73.
But
because
it
of
is
the
a
color.
Pontiac color.
Oh
So,
yeah. It's
okay.
Buccaneer Red, Pontiac color.
Wow, it's bright. I mean, the sun's kind of set with the rain possibly coming in, but this thing pops when you see it. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful, especially with the bird on the hood.
Yeah.
So how long have you had the car?
Well, I had the car for almost a year now. The car sat in a barn for 17 years.
Wow.
This was a barn find, true barn find.
Where'd you find it in the which?
Rhode Island,
Rhode
actually.
Island? Okay, so it's not too far.
Yeah, it was in a barn, a heated barn. That's why I survived
Okay.
for 17 years. After 17 years, started right up.
Wow, really?
And yeah, there was a fair amount of body damage on it, rust and stuff. I had to replace one of the fenders, had to cut and patch many other places. But overall, it wasn't too bad at all. It's very solid underneath.
Yeah.
The engine is very strong. Only had 88,000 miles on it
Wow.
when I got it.
That is
So
something.
it's a blessed drive.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Now, you drive it daily? Is it something you just
In the
take on
summer,
weekends?
I haven't. Ever since I restored it, I've been driving it to work pretty much every day.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Now,
Yeah, you gotta enjoy a car like this.
exactly. Yeah. Have you ever been down to Bass Pro before?
Actually, I've been here many times, but this is the first time I brought it.
Okay, yeah, because I've never seen this. I've come down here a lot, and I've
Yeah.
never seen this actual color. It pops when you see it again, guys. When you see this car, you'll see it. It comes down the street at 10 miles away. It's a beautiful
Well,
color.
there aren't too many 70 to 73. The few times I've been here, I've never seen one, so I figured I'll bring mine in.
There you go. Well, again, thank you for showing
Oh,
us this
thank
thing
you.
off.
No
It's a
problem.
beautiful car. Love it.
Thank you.
All right, we're here with Daz, and you saw a couple of the older Firebirds and Trans Ams. This one is one of the last of the breed here. Tell us a little bit, what year is this?
Well, this is a 2002. It's the last year.
Last year.
I had a 98 that I had T-tops that I traded in for this one. The guy called me up and said, hey, I got a triple black. You interested? I go, yep. Put a deposit on it.
Yeah, now I heard you come in with this thing. It does look stock. You want to give us a little bit of rundown what this is? I mean, it sounded mean coming in here. So, again, you pop the hood. It looks just like your normal everyday LS1 Trans Am. But
Correct.
what have you done to this?
Well, the first thing I did when I first got it was I ripped a whole exhaust for the manifold back, and I did SLP.
Okay.
And that was the first thing I did. I put the loudmouth. And then when I did the work for the motor, I ended up putting a racing cam, timing belt, new heads, and I had SLP design the whole thing.
Okay.
So it's been dynoed at 465 for the back wheels, all GM sanctioned,
On a convertible.
on a convertible. But it opened a can of worms because if I knew that what I know now, I probably wouldn't do it because it was just endless.
Yeah.
What I mean by that was it was so much torque that I had to do the whole suspension. So
Right,
that
yeah.
added on. And then when I got that done, then all of a sudden I had to do the gears, because it comes with 323 gears, and I did 373 in the rear end. And then all of a sudden then I had to do the brakes,
Yep.
because now it has,
It's a lot more.
right, it was just,
No, I hear you, man.
yeah, so no, it's been fun. Matter of fact, this past week I just did the shocks and the springs because I got 11 years out of it. And what I did was I updated the tires and rims to 20-inch, and it will bottom them out in the rear. So we had to bend the wheel wells. So it was just, again,
So now it's just become a project.
it's just a project. And every year, it's whatever new that's available that belongs in the car, I'm going to put in and try to keep it stock.
And it does look stock, even
Right.
though it's got a bump in horsepower.
Right. It's just
very
so
well.
much fun. And then this past summer, last summer, the clutch went.
Oh.
It went to the floor. So when I ripped it apart, we ended up doing a Ram high performance clutch with 500 horse.
Yeah.
And cut the flywheel. But it's just so much fun to drive.
Yeah. No, of course. Any kind of F body, the 4th gen especially.
Pretty much.
They're fun to drive.
Pretty much. And I also have another one. I got a 30th anniversary.
Okay.
And that I never take out. That's a number 354 to 1500.
Wow.
Not convertible. T-tops with a 6-speed.
Okay.
That stays at the house. But what I did here was, I don't know if you noticed this.
I saw that.
Yeah,
That's all
this is all
beautiful.
airbrush. I got a buddy of mine, Keith Hansen. He does all custom bikes
Wow.
in the Norwood area. And what he did was he copied the stencils from the other one,
Yep.
and he did all this airbrush. Everything is in candy apple red and gray.
Yeah,
So it's very subtle. It's not
We'll
too
take
much.
a look at this. We'll get a close up.
Sure,
That
sure.
is beautiful. Actually, I thought it was a decal, but this guy does beautiful
Right,
work.
it's beautiful work.
Now, I noticed the sticker you wore on the Power Tour.
I did the Power Tour, yes. I did that a couple of years ago. This past year I couldn't do it because I had too much work, and I'm short-handed at work. But the car stays at my dad's house down in Daytona, and it was in Cocoa Beach that it started.
Yep.
And then we did 7 cities in 7 days.
Right. Now, how'd you like the Power Tour?
I would recommend it on your bucket list to do it once in your lifetime, just to go with your companion or close friend.
Right, yeah.
It's just nothing like it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I went a long time ago. I was back in '98. I did the Power Tour,
Sure.
and like you just said, it's something you got to do if
You
you're a
gotta do it once.
gearhead, and it's a lot of fun. You meet a lot of new people, and I've had fun. I've been jonesing for them to come back east so
Sure.
that we could do it again. You had the luck of going down to Florida and driving up.
Well,
with
I
them.
lucked out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed the Power Tour. It always starts where it ends.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
this year it ended in Detroit. It picked up there and it ended up in Arlington, Texas. So next year it starts in Arlington, Texas, and it goes the whole West Coast.
Oh, okay. So that's a little bit of a knowledge that I didn't even know. See, I've been out of the
I
Power
just,
Tour
I
loop.
just
Yeah.
found this out.
Yeah.
But it's to meet all the major sponsors. I met Foos. I met Mr. Edelbrock, his daughter.
Yep.
I met what was the girls from Hirsch? Vine, Tina Vine. What was the girl's name? She's the representative for Hearst.
Oh, yes, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was
I'm sorry,
there.
yep.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
pretty. It was just pretty amazing. These people are just celebrities, and they're just down to earth to talk to you and just sign autographs. And
Yep.
It was pretty nice. A lot of gearheads.
Yeah, people come up to you from all over the country just saying, "What do where do you get this car? How is it
So
beautiful?"
people plan their vacation around the Power Tour.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. You got to experience it once in your lifetime.
Yeah, so I'm a veteran. This guy took his car on, and he's a veteran also.
Right,
If you've
right.
never been on Power Tour, if it comes closer to New England, we're definitely going to try and hop onto it and do it. But if you get a chance to go out there, do the Power Tour. It is a lot of fun, and it's a lot of exciting. And you meet a ton of
Oh, it's
people.
so much. I still email people today, a couple of years, just want to know where we were last year.
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna do it next year. We're gonna disappear for you need a good 2 weeks.
Right, just to get out there
Just to
and
get
go
out.
back and then
Exactly.
just
Just
take your
enjoy.
time. Yeah. Well, again, thank you, man,
Yes, sir.
for
Thank you.
stopping
I
and joining. I
appreciate it.
love
Thank
the
you.
sound of this car.
Thank you very much. Thank
Cool.
you.